guys, my name is Megan and today I've got a rather large book haul for you. Alright, so today I've got a particularly large book haul. Most of the books are going to be ebooks. I do have a stack of manga and regular books to go over as well. As you can see, my TBR has pretty much dwindled down to this. I have done quite a bit of clean out on my TBR of books that I have either DNF'd or ones that I know I'm not going to be reading, so maybe I should do a book unhaul sometime. But anyway, if you guys are interested in any of the books that I have previously had on TBRs, check out my Pango down below. This is not a sponsored post, but Pango has become like a really good source of getting my books to people that actually want to read them and also buying myself some books. So I do have a few that I have purchased from Pango, so I will talk about those too. Anyway, let's go ahead and just dive right in. Just because there are so many books, I'm probably not going to go into too many details about some of the books, and there are duplicates of some, so let's go ahead and just dive right in. Alright, so first up I have the ebook of The Golden Raven. This is the 5th book in the All for the Game series, also the 2nd book in the trilogy about Jean Moreau, and it's an absolute favorite. It's one of my top favorite books of the year. Next up I have Resisting You. This is, I believe, the start of a new series for E.M. Lindsay. Not 100% sure. Next up I have Junker 7. This is a queer sci-fi, and I'm not sure if it has trans rep, but it definitely has like sapphic representation in it, and I'm here for that. So I have the Flowered Blade on this. I did read this one already, and I loved it to pieces. This is a trans autistic elf prince that gets kidnapped by the orc chief. Next up I have Alpha Dragon's Cat, which I read in June and loved it to pieces. Next I have Unhinged Titan and Forbidden Titan. Both of these are in the North Shore Titan series, and I love this series to pieces. It's dark, but also like super sweet in really unexpected ways for being about some psychotic hockey players. Next up I have Connor. Don't remember what series this is. And then I have Just for the Cameras. This is a queer poly romance with sex workers, and I'm here for that. And then I have Magic in the Mountains. This is I believe this is the start of a new series by Mary Warren, who runs the Fat Girls and Fictions Instagram page, and I love her to pieces. So I'm really excited to dive into one of her new series. This one is an urban fantasy. Next up I have The Love Struck Cat Just Wants to Be Petted. This is a manga following Kotetsu, who is just learning to deal with having these cat-like features just pop up out of nowhere. So next up I have Free From Falling. I loved this book to pieces. It's one of my favorite books of the year. So next up I have the physical copy of Golden Raven. Next up I have Bite Marks and Fluorite. This is a manga following a newly turned vampire as like he's going through the vampire transformation, and he now has a new friend who knows what he's going through, and I'm so excited for this because I really love fangs, and I feel like this is in a similar vein to that, so yes please. Next up I have Hell Followed With Us. This is a book that I picked up from Pango. This is a trans post-apocalyptic horror novel, and with some religious trauma thrown in there, a lot of religious horror thrown in there. Yes, please. Honestly, the quality of books that I pick up from Pango is fantastic. They've all been in like almost brand new condition, so it's a place that I would highly recommend, especially if you're looking for secondhand books. Next up I have Go Luck Yourself, which I also picked up from Pango, and this I loved to pieces. Loved, loved, loved. Would highly recommend this series. It's so good. Next up I picked up Pulling Strings. This is a urban fantasy following a gang of witches, and the main character is trying to get out of the gang life because his younger brother is starting to follow in his footsteps, and he's realizing, oh shit, I'm a role model, so I gotta clean up my act. Next up I have I'm Not Your Pet. This is one that I've talked about in several of my monster romance book recommendations, TBRs. This is an alien romance. Next up I have Captivating, which I've already read. This is the 2nd book in the Elite Protection series, and again, I loved this to pieces. Next up I have Roommate Arrangement. This is, I think, a parent's best friend, like kind of forbidden romance, and they end up being roommates for a while. Next up I have Something Borrowed. This is I believe this is following a wedding planner and his ex as they get back together. I'm not 100% sure. Next up I have Finding You. This is part of a series by E.M. Lindsay. I think this is all following single dads or single parents. don't quote me on that. Next up, I have Pretty Boy and Mixed Signals, both by Ian Lindsay. I have read both of these already, and again, fantastic. Next up, I have Bear Creek Thanksgiving. This book I'm so looking forward to. So I read the first 2 books already, and like, they are hilarious, laugh out loud. They are shifter romances with some questionable word choices thrown in, and they just make me giggle. And when I saw this for free, I just couldn't pass it up. Next up, I have Wild Beast Forest House, Volume 1. This is a like shifter anthropomorphic, I don't know. It's about these people who just want to find some place to chill for a while, and there is just this, it's not a spa, it's like a retreat area for these characters in the woods, and they just want to hang around people that are like them. So I'm really excited for this. This one is definitely not for those under 18 though. Next up, I have Road to a Cowboy. This is, I think, the second book in a series. Don't have the first one yet, but it was for free, and it's an Amy Aislinn book, so I couldn't pass it up. So next up, I have Undead Finding Love in the Zombie Apocalypse. This is a zombie apocalypse romance that I did not know I needed in my life. And it's one that I'm really here for, because I definitely need more post-apocalyptic books in my life, I guess. Next up, I have Pole Position. This is a Formula 1 and Formula 2 racing romance. I also have Shots You Take. This is a hockey romance by Rachel Reed. This one does have heavy grief trigger warnings in it, so just be careful of that going in. I also have A Pirate's Life for Tea. This is the second book in the Tones and Tea series. Also, this has sprayed edges. They're like a really pretty orange. So next up, I have another book that I found on Pango. And that is At First Bite. This is a really fun romance by Olivia Dade, and I'm really looking forward to diving into in July. Next up, I have The Cocktail on the Block. This is a romance featuring farm animals, and I forget if it's football. It might be football. And I think this might be a college romance. Next up, I have Zero Happily Ever Afters. This is the 4th book in the Branches of Past and Future Magic series, and it's following more of Dorian and his students, and I'm so excited to dive into this. Next up, I have Cloudy with a Chance of Bad Decisions. This is a newer book by Faye Quinn, and I'm so excited to dive into this. Next up, I have the last of my physical books that I have for this, and that is Cemetery Boys. This is one that I picked up off of Pango, and it's in almost new condition. This is following a trans boy who's just trying to get his family to see him as a brujo and find his place in the world, and also some ghost shenanigans, so yes please. Next up, I have Only Orlando. This, I think, is a standalone by Charlie Novak, and I'm so excited for this. It is a poly romance. Next up, I have Line Drive. This is the second book in the Hit and Run series. Next up, I have Exasperating. This is the 3rd book in the Elite Protection series, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to. Next up, I have one of my most anticipated books for the year, and that is The Night Movers. This is by Nola Harker, who is Onley James. This is a pen name, and it's an Omegaverse, but it's post-apocalyptic, and there's magic thrown in, and I'm so here for it. So the last book I have for this book haul is a physical copy of A Fairy of Bones and Gold, which I love to pieces, and like the day that I'm filming this video is like, I think the day after I ordered it, and it's already in the mail and should be here well before this video goes up. But you know, I figured I'd include it anyway just because it's the last book for this particular book haul. So those are all the books I've accumulated recently. I think at least since February. February might have been the last time I did a book haul. Anyway, those are the books that I've gotten recently. Have you guys acquired a number of books recently? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!